when I told you that all the last COVID protocol restrictions have been lifted, and you immediately said you would use the next opportunity to come to the UK to thank us. Please, can we put our hands together? I know it's because of the fact that you appreciate Ndimo in UK and Europe. I know it's because of the value you attach to diasporans. And it's also because you like that partnership that you enjoyed during your 7 months. This evening will offer you an opportunity to talk to us and for us to hear you. Because since 2020, everybody wants to hear from you, Your Excellency. This is a great opportunity for you to talk to us and for us to hear directly from you. What I implore everybody here this evening is to be patient and let us listen attentively to His Excellency. There will be time for questions, time permitting, there will be time for questions. So please, let us join hands together again and welcome His Excellency, Rt.Hon Emeka.
I think my visit here is blown out of proportion. I must say, because for me, you all know that now, okay, 2020, everyone was tied down home, so I didn't step out and begin to have a new beginning. And that showed in the election. In Osun State, it was very clear the people had rejected the APC administration and told them, but of course, again, bye. Upper State, Bola Tinubu, so every governor double bondo, and then the PDP government is coming into Osun. So for us in Imo State, before what excited me, or what induced me, what encouraged me to run for governance, I felt there is so much I can bring. That my knowledge, my capacity, my contacts, my experience over the years, and so I took my time to prepare. I was out on governor because they want to make me know, or because I was the finest person in Imo, no, or because I was no. I came because I felt I could make a change. I felt I could make the difference. I felt I could give our people a new lease of life, and that's what we did. The difference was clear from my pattern of campaign. I campaigned differently because as never can say so I need AJ higher more consultants to do my things. I go around. So I'm a Madim. By the time I ran in 2015, maybe during campaigns 2013, 2014, I didn't go around the states. MMA, high man. When I absorbed the next one, I went around the 305 wards. And I understood him very well. What are the problems of our state and of our people? I saw the difference between Onimo, difficulties in certain areas in the area, the Arrow area. I saw all those things. I could see how Okigwe is. You get to that one, that with the different blocks. You got in that one, that with the different tendencies in that one. You got to look at the differences. You got to also, you understand how it is. You got to east to west. You know that all the local that are good. For that was when I understood really, and the good one, the good two. You get to so, but there's more to it. It can be say yes, I knew to say fairly well, but all memory campaign can be a manner. Different areas like this. I have to put them back. That thing go back. And get home over. Between the kids, get home. They got to the Sioux clan. You see how the place is. So I got to understand Imo better. And that understanding I had defined my attitude to governance. It defined my choice of Ndemana Hamon in office. Who was I going to appoint? Do I just appoint you because I like your face? I knew there was need for me to have balance intricate balance of balancing the intricacies of power in the state. I knew that how it was important. I tried to work those things because I had a better understanding of the state. That was how I came. When I took off, I knew that there was need for me to have a transition team. But before the transition team, I had prepared my manifesto. Just like now, I take my time, I prepare things I do, and I had a well-prepared manifesto which I gathered I worked on for about 2 years. Other number of experts, the master come. I wonder higher than our master, have an ethic. All them, you know what I'm talking about. Gamma that and word of within the heat and then the bombs. I tried to bring them together to say, let's work, and then we came out with documents. So, made that document hand over to the National Technical Committee. And in my choice of Technical Committee, exactly, Chiledu Obaleke, I had heard about it. But when I appointed the former Deputy Governor of Central Bank, NSDB, as chairman of my Transitional Technical Committee, I requested him, said, I want you to come because you've had very significant public and private sector experience. I want you to come to bear. Because actually in a new state, because our state was badly run. That's a camera. Why we cannot make it? I sat with him and then I balanced him up. What I came at you. Who had also been in public life, but she's a politician. She had been deputy, and then pick here, Limo. Across, I brought different professionals into our transitional committee, and we had different technical groups to work on various areas to see how governance can work. Health sector, oil and gas, education sector, human capital development, wealth and job creation. We brought all sorts. We brought many professionals. And then he was secretary of that committee. A young man with huge capacity, body and energy. Back in Sacha. Obodo doesn't have them. Obodo Imo State had a car. I bet Imo is about the most educated state in the country. When I mean education, our education that we travel a lot, because traveling is education. And the baker, everywhere. And I want a capacity, huge capacity. I want energy. I want ego. So, get all on that, I want Imo. Take it, just check Imo States. Maybe only an ambassador can compare Imo States in terms of good things. Half of Lagos, Imo State. So I argue for Lagos State. Lagos, all of the company maybe. Half of Lagos and Abuja, we don't consider them states. But in real estate, yeah, Port Harcourt or just Port Harcourt or that Port Harcourt. But when you talk of spread, Imo is number one. And Power Imo and Anambra will rank 1 and 2. Am I right? Yes. How can we have all this? Get the guy and walk on top of that. Somebody will go, lay a land match. Chikoro. But they go to Jeme. God just elehija leme. What do I give me 1,000 plus of land? I'm not talking about 1,000 acres. You can have it. You tell him a farm. You can have 1,000 acres. I can understand it. You want to have a farm of 1,000 acres. That is what you go for. They then would know. But something is wrong. And the Bible that in has on them out. So people now began to see it as a word of life. That's not the way I was trained. My father taught me that's the kind of training I received. My mother would flog me in my bag, Bojo. Emeka, this is not good. Get them. At some point in time, Imo State, you can't find a difference between good and bad. And then, and they go on. You can have a civil servant. I say, I will pay you 70% of the salary. Didn't help all him any Imo State that time. Yeah. Pensioners, I mean, you want to pay pensioners at all? When I came in, they were only 64 months. Did it happen or not?
It happened.
That was the state I met. That was the state I inherited. And then Joe, any penal fund, 28 billion, somebody making on your commonwealth. Nah. I felt it was better. Also, I needed 3 months. The look at her back. They go away. Those rules back when there are not many. But because of authority. When I came into him, drainage, am I saying the truth or not? That was the most important. Stadium, Grasshopper Stadium, he knows. We worked for 3 weeks, day and night. I had to get my friends, catchers, Okoli, Kudok. They give us caterpillars. I got a stadium. They got Grasshopper Stadium. Who's that? And I'm Hashi. Ebenile Stadium. You can't get it. You go to yes, that's true. You know that before I came in, they banned the league, professional league association. They banned use of Grasshopper Stadium. Sorry, not Grasshopper. Daranyam Stadium. Heartland was no more playing. Why? Because the stadium was in state of disuse. That was the state. I wanted the jihad. So I insisted not getting me inauguration at Daranyam Stadium. He said, we must do it. I'm not one day you sing back, have a worry. A push. Get hold of it. I'm sure you know very well. I'm just saying what is a fact. Or they campaigning about let me tell you, for the fathers of that, interaction, not politics. He supported me when I was contesting. He supported me in government. I had a stakeholders forum within the diaspora on 2nd of January. We had wonderful sessions, we exchanged ideas. Magun Saga by set up a diaspora desk. Okay? And I said I want to have a census of Ndebeka in wherever you are and what you have been, so that we can begin to talk of collaboration and partnerships. Did I say that or not? You did. Unfortunately, they had passed away. So, we still that time, our hope is not lost. You're going to see, in day one, there's a time for everything. And when they misconstrue my visit, oh, politics, forget it. I need to a ban on politics. I need to ban, I give me politics. Once I will go and campaign. So, this or I got my campaign. Because they live to be bad. At the time I'm saying, I'm going to make graduation. So I mean, a few days. So we say we can fit in something. I'm usually a very active person. Usually 1, 2, 3 days. I have a cash out. So Miss okay, catch up no money. I will invite you to my mind why and one mind one. But because I don't have that kind of place, it is okay. Can we get my interaction? I think that is the essence of my visit. Say hello to the man. Say again. But then, because I have served you, and your mandate to me, if you go to the INEC website today, you can Google it. You can forget the INEC website, Imo State governorship. When you get there, Imo governor, the we need the election. Oh, Emeka. When they caught the ruling, they didn't tell INEC to go and calculate. And that is why only certain provisions to the Electoral Act. And cash will not be. That election result, election result today. That those are election all hand up. It did the Akala. Okay. Because with what they're doing with accreditation, with beavers, every time accredits, bam! You cannot have more votes than what is accredited. Anything, you carry 1, 0. If man came, here they say, no one will 308 polling units. As I can. Every election, I get wherever I get because of incidents of fighting and get ballot material and normally cancel that place. Yes. Claim manufacture figures that never existed, including in my village. As a polling unit in my village, I got a day room 800 votes. Then I want only 2 comes, some 4. In my village. In my village. And that person walks around to the Nagari. I shut them out. Mojo. I want him back there, person. Right. I will go for again. When you know, there's no shin and a journey. From Hola, not catching again. So God knows everything. And there's a purpose. There must have been a purpose for it. When they cancelled my election, I said I was no more governor. That evening, I went to the Bible. I went to the book of Ecclesiastes. And I saw there's a time for everything. And for every season, there's a purpose for your men. And I was calm. There must be a purpose why God allowed this to happen. And whatever it is, let the will of God. And that's why much there came. I only said God strengthened me. My mother is going to be 90 in August this year. So I was worried about her. See, can this happen in her lifetime? But I gave her a manner that's bizarre. The Chineke do all of us. So I thank God that now we were not injured by those, or that you are displaced and Imo lost democracy. But I believe that with the way INEC is conducting themselves in the elections that we've had, and when them improve, and I commend them for the improvements in them. Why the election go bala? Why am or that type of warrior? I am Takwake. So I want to assure you that now, you should be strong, you should have faith and convinced that the election came after better, better than the last election. And I also believe that Haman and judiciary again also. I believe it will happen again. Part of their plan was not to announce my results in 2019. That was what they contemplated. But because of Otondi Moji's surgery, to say you must declare this result. And so that was why I committed myself to good governance when I went to. Apart from what we did in the National Technical Committee, I just did not have, for me, just documented an album. I had an idea of what I wanted to do. I knew that we needed to reform the civil service. I knew that the public service needed to be in place. I knew that rule of law must come to be. I knew that we had to put in place a system that will work. I knew that due process must come to play. I also knew that we had to make ease business in Imo State. The way and manner you do business, you must ease it. You check out GDP of Imo, and at the consequent IGR, when you come something is wrong. And when a lot of loopholes, and then Zoshi left, right, and center. Imo and Zeka, Obodo, Agazi, Nga, when you all have to attend, and I said, no, we must bring sanity. So I said one. I met 39 ministries when I became governor. 39. Remember? 39 ministries.
Happiness and enjoyment.
I brought them down. I had them 3 years ago. So when I came, I said, no, we must streamline ministries. I gave only 18 ministries. They find them. They worked on the document. That I won't have more than 18 commissioners. But then, on the government, I'm only commissioner in Ghana. So I liberalized the executive council and brought in some special advisors and software assistants. They had certain desks. He wasn't a commissioner. But on and on, commissioner. He was commissioner. But he was doing many things. He had handled the information technology in the state. And for the sector that he had, Imo began the Excel. By the time we came on IT, where were we? Around 27. And by the time we left, we were number one in the country. Yes, we were number one. Within a very short period, just 7 months. 7 months of what I stayed. But some of these things were done within a space of 4 months, 5 months. Before I came in, when I made a campaign, I told our people that I would give autonomy to local government. I said it. I said that one by my training, even the document I made, a constitutional review, because I was chairman of the constitutional review committee in the House of Reps. So I insisted, and we got to remember, my members agreed with me. I had made a comment that local governments are autonomous. So when my campaign said that I will implement it. People said, oh, you cannot do it. I said, I will do it. When I went in immediately, I implemented local government autonomy. What are they tough? Because a number of people here with the local government money never again. Is it not true?
Yes,
But the moment I came in, I had a special advisor with a dedicated responsibility to collate and coordinate activities of local government. I appointed interim management committees and represented from every political ward in the state. For the chairman, Ego Habia, Onwagu. And when I just go and verify, I'd like you to tell me, Emeka, you're lying. Can we say that now? Every month, like by end of June, I will publish how much came to Ngore local government, how much came to Ngore North, how much came to Abombise, how much came to Hituboma, how much came to Okike. So you can know how much came to your local government area. And then I will sit down through the special advisor and local government chairman and treasurers. Hituboma, oh, you got 56 million. The first thing we'll do is to remove salaries of civil servants in Hituboma local government. So I got a again. Then we have salaries, the next thing will pensions. We take away pensions, and then we hit 2 bomb. We have pension, we have salaries. Yeah, for 15 million. I now made sure that every local government area was doing capital projects so that again we go making it. I know what I'm talking about. Right. So we didn't allow them. But I told leaders of respected local government area, go and sit down. That no more 2 capital projects, we move 3 that we embarked upon. One was ISAGA. Every local government area must build a stadium. Stadium complex, not just stadium, a stadium complex. The stadium complex will have normal Olympic-sized football pitch with 8 lanes for athletic purposes. 8 lanes. I went around the 27 local government area by myself. I was 80 man. I went to the 27 local government areas. Oh, they know. I went to 27 of them. I got a ballad. We'll tell you to go and get land, get back. I will come and inspect. Make sure we got people they used to construction of the stadium. So it's not to bring them up like say before we take you, we must be sure you are proficient in what you are doing. What did I do? I got an architect who was our state financial secretary. But it's okay. I would ask you to go and design a prototype secretariat. Secretariat is what you are building in Ukuta. It's something you are building in Okigwe. So we had identical uniform secretariat. The costs are all the same. So you can't tell me, oh, you guys say 200 million now, no secretariat. So we did the cost, I think it was about 80-something million each of them. That's some ton of, I can't even remember. How many? 84 million. We said, so every local government had 84 million, so you had a budget of 84 million. So now you are paying mentally, and what did I do? I asked the leaders of that local government to go and pick their contractors by myself. It's not true.
It's true.
I did not pick any contractor, not one. I didn't pick one contractor, not even my local government I promised. I did not pick one. I called them again.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Ego State now, Ego local government, I'm again. No projects, no money. You know, ghost workers. Who are the ghost workers? To identify ghost workers, I started what we called clocking and clock-out. And when they were civil servants in the local government, they come and live in London. Every month, I'm not going to listen back. You can't live in London, near the salary in Okigwe. You must go to Okigwe, near the salary. You got that in Okigwe, near the salary. And then, Yanaga, Madaba, Hele, Anaga, Nanya. I made sure that when they put clock in, clock out, what does that mean? Give you on a Monday, that clock again. I came to work by 8:30, 9 o'clock as the case may be, whatever. When you are going, you do what? Clock out. So no matter all you are, even if you are sick, they go to sick. They want sick leave. Maybe this week you're not well. But if a man is sick for only have been home for 1 month, 2 months now, how about you go? And so we now know that you are really not working. We have a verification of pensioners. What did we do? Well, let me finish local government. I was talking about local government. So apart from the stadium that we are doing, and even at the essence of the stadium, all of you are here. My friend Collins tells me we have about football. And a number of you are helping their children to go to now, but only one talent. Because that child can be a star to go. That child can be J.J. That child can be Messi. That child can look at Ronaldo when you matter the coach in the guy. But when I'm done with the Hamam, a lot of money. So if a child look at the football, why are you limiting that child? So I said, if we have a stadium, at the stadium, local government secretariat, that child, Yabana Primary School, that was to encourage inter-house sports, inter-community sports. So they'll come where we can be having a championship. Then about football, and then I also, because we have 8 lanes, and then again, Chidimo was on Imo State. Where? You know, Imo State. My sister, Choma Juma, I jump, yeah, we walk back. So, who are the Choma Jumas of tomorrow and of today? So I felt that if we have it, we can, and we brought the committee, Choma Juma, all those chaps, charity, opera, I brought all of them into the committee, to the sports committee. And many had tasks here come. First, what we did was to set up a sports commission. So that the ministers, where I believe have the ministry, and I made them real operational. Go for talent hunting, 1, 2, equipment and sports facilities. And we began to work. So as a young stadium in every local government area, we are going to have obviously Omaka, Ganako, or when you're swimming, I have about dedicated starting. But in fact, about 5-6 local governments start Olympic size swimming pool. And what do you want to do with this swimming pool? We were able to host sports festival in such a manner that we had a sports summit, the first anywhere, and we brought experts from across the country to come and discuss sports and its future in Imo. The Minister of Sports, Onye APC, Onye Sunday Dari, he came to Mwabira, he made a pronouncement. He said that now he would recommend the Imo model for every state in the country. And that's what he did. That's only like a copy. And they gave us a provisional right to host National Sports Festival that would have held this year, 2022, because of what they saw in our state. What did we achieve? We created jobs in the local government. He was chairman of party, but all matter now. You can send anybody, say to contractor, coming from PDP chairman in Hitu Boma. That means the contractor, chairman, look at him. That person will make a 5,000 naira. That may be the only thing the person needs. Only 5,000 can make somebody happy. Only 10,000 naira dey show fit tap. And a church in then what is that? I walk on a call 5,000. Yeah, make it 10,000. Yeah, you want 5,000 now. What will you show me? Madam, I gave So we try to create wealth in the process of it. We stopped rural-urban migration because what are you looking for is why do you want to take the transport to go to? You just come out there. So that stadium we are doing created some level of work for a number of people. Laborers, all sorts. Artisans, everybody was. As we're doing that, we proceeded and standard dedicated line on page 28. Check it. We got the prototype secretary that we did. 26. Like I told you, some Anne Kweku and page 26. You see, I have the same secretary. It was commissioned on 27th of December 2019. On 27th December. I want you to copy of this. Yes. It's for me. Yes, sir? Okay, good. They know was alive that anyone came that day as a Chineke may break a man. Little do you know that they don't die in the streets. And other local government secretariats were at different stages of completion. Among them had Jews. What has happened to those secretariats? Where are they today? And people are not asking questions. When you buy enough for Emeka, enough for Emeka power, enough for Emeka power, you never ask. When you jump and give them a stadium, give me a secretary. Hey, where is the stadium? What do they look at? I find a gym. When I'm a sports, you must exercise. So they denied us of foreign exchange that would have been earned by virtue of our children that would have excelled in different areas. I got many people who agents, not often, they Italy, they France, they Luxembourg, basketball. So I wanted to make him to excel. I wanted to bring him to limelight again. That I will a hugely talented people and I want everything. I want everything. So we need that our human capacity, our human capital development is second to none. They denied us that. Those efforts we made came to zero. However, I was happy that I showed in demo that local government areas can be autonomous. I was happy I showed in demo that the autonomous local government areas can be very productive. Who can name a local government? As chairman, they were chairman. I won't say they suffer too much, but I have to go to shoot. Excellency, complete one project can be go to shop. I complete a stadium, complete a secretariat. I have zoo equipment. I'm going to so that you can come. That's where you can use your influence as chairman. Chairman can say, chairman, because I'm on occasion tomorrow. All you need to do, I bargain it. About with the grader. All of us need it. In London, Gabi will make him on again on. Because you're a good citizen. Get it to the chairman of council, people. I didn't tell them, I didn't make them watch her plane. Make it. But who knows them at the I would love you to help me to create my role. Oh, with all pleasure, because you're a good corporate citizen of local government. Yeah, next week. That's all you don't need to do. And then we have entered into an agreement with Quality Gulf. Yes. They were to set up a factory, a plant. Set up a plant and then a workshop to train, we're meeting four people. Caterpillar operators, Caterpillar, my drivers, my mechanic, Gaga chatting, then so that place can have a pool of mechanics from Imo. You can export, indeed, those artisans. In that regard, in education, I identified 4 technical colleges for post of vocational centers, which were not there before. So I knew of a Trade Center. Give up a abandoned. GTC no longer abandoned. Government college almost working no guru. And now said, okay. In the course of my campaign, I said I'm going to revive them. So when I revived them, I quickly also had a prototype design for all of them. Got consultants who have handled a similar projects for a polytechnic in Kosovo. Thereby design and everything. We started to work. We advanced money, a dibido, 4 of them. We got GTC today, we got that one. In fact, Zenith Bank cannot take to do that one for us. They paid for it, 600 something million. They paid some initial deposits. But of course, when I left, he went to work because the vision must be right. So I wanted to elevate the education in such a way that your children can be trained. We will produce artisans from Imo State, technicians. In a country like Finland, they have good carpenters. We identified four old hospitals who are going to revitalize. We looked at the hospital, the general hospital, we're going to work. We began work. We set up health management boards again, gave them tasks and responsibilities. We had to integrate them in January. Right? We were just taking. We had a local government service commission. Judiciary was, judiciary agriculture. In agriculture, I determined that we're going to plant 4 million new palms in Imo State within a space of 4 years. I had begun discussions. I set up an agri team of 4 experts. One of them was working with the World Bank. I got 4 experts, and I gave them tasks. And I believe I got to respect local government. And people were cooperating near my land. And I said I wanted partnership between the communities and the government. We are not taking your land. We are not taking it for you. Oh, let me use Isalambano for instance. If we get a community with a large acre of land, are you ready to partner with government? No force so. Yes, I get prepared. I said, okay. Government will come with the equipment. We're going to buy the seedlings. You clear the place. You go into partnership with us. You have a certain percentage. You must certain way. I got one they can manage. The company that will manage will take. Yes, you will just have the equity. The community will have equity. And that they may employ in those farms will be in the Imo State. And from that community, I actually replicate them another farm into at least 5-6 areas. And we saw that when such land in Lubita. And when such land more or some money to pay. They identified the roads, so, and I said I must award this contract for those roads. They brought contractors. I didn't bring any contractor. Contractors were appointed by the government before we just get roads. And I said, contractors have been appointed, these roads have been marked, let us pay them. We paid them. And I kickstarted, flagged them off, Nambitolu. And on him, I went on him and to flag them off. Ebido, this construction. The construction were going on 385 kilometer roads, rural roads, across the various parts of the state. Until you stand. Here is our computer. He said we're going to be about 500 million. I have some money. He sent computers to us. We deployed these computers to every local government area. But we told them to come to Hanyola. They work for about 3 weeks. And we got what we wanted. I will need about a month or 2 to properly verify instruments. I didn't ask any old man. Let me let the night go on here. Every day. So what did I do? I decentralized the verification process in every local government area. And every local government area, I am in 3 centers. Not just 1. 3 centers in every local government area. So I've done at Center A, Center B, Center C. I had double shade, canopy, double chip, bought meat pie and drinks and water. So you come there, you do your verification, you do what? You go. And then I go when I state secretariat, I said, no, that's not how I go to. There was no light in the state secretariat for about 7 years in Ohempo. No light. They were in darkness. They got each of the floors, that beautiful edifice that actually they wanted. 8 big buildings. We got an office here. Here now, I passed my neighbor, generator. Get one on that. I will go okay. We can't work like that. So I quickly neutralized those things, and then I got the Enugu electricity distribution company. That's NEPA. So I come back and then get our light back. So while they were working on our lights, I had my solar panels to make sure that works. It clears again. I sanitized the system. I now began to give training to look at to senior civil servants. We started, even from level of directors, deputy directors, senior civil servants from grade level 14, from grade level 12. We began to train and retrain them so that they can become useful. So Imo State is working. Ease of doing business. Imo jumped from a dismal 34 or 34 in the country. By the time we started, by the time I lived in Imo State was number 1 or 2. Number 1 in the country. In various facets of life, Imo excelled. Pardon? Anti-corruption. Imo was the most. Imo was ranking 30. We were 30 something. Either 34, 36. I can't remember. But by the time we left, the Office of Statistics, National Bureau of has said that Imo State was the least corrupted in the country. If I give you contract, I warn you. When you're like getting a bribe, you're in trouble. When you're not in trouble, you have a choice. I'm talking of what we did. And our brothers and sisters will be IGR of our state. The figures of the IGR, I think I can work.
1.2 billion.
When I started, good. When I started, the IGR of the state, yes. When I started, the IGR of the state was 253 million. That June, it was, May 29, June. The IGR was 259. By the end of July, we had hit 369 million. By August, we had hit, this is million. By the next month, we had hit 786. By the month of April, we had hit 877. By November, we had hit 926 million a month. And by end of December, we had 1,184 million. So I incrementally grew the IGR. I want to now make it mandatory that every revenue that comes to the state comes to a central boss. I don't want to tell you, how we got to make money. Say, oh yeah. My commissioners did not have vehicles. Did you have a vehicle?
No, that's what
My commissioners did not have vehicles.
Uber.
My commissioners did not have vehicles. I'm just what is was my commissioner of. Listen, after 4 months, I bought a car from SSG, Chief of Staff, Deputy Chief of Staff, and Attorney General, who they were appointed on the first day I took off. Because I knew my Attorney General was going to be before I came. I bought them their cars immediately I took off. I set up Finance Advisory Committee. I brought Abraham Wampo, who is an expert in debt management, respected in the country. I made him chairman of our Financial Advisory Committee. And they were dealing with every financial issue in the state on a daily basis. That guy, they got every local government area to now borrow 535 million naira. Local governments, you collect their money, you don't give them their resources, it's an annual assign here to pay 5 million. Your local government had borrowed money, and had made sure you a good allocation that comes to local government. Yeah, they don't see the resources. Here, no name it's better imagine. I think those are our problems. So many of them kind of did not swim in them saying, Understand your problem and let us find a solution to this problem. They have any money. Have a look, Annie. Nebuayo, Bubuyaya, they are building roads now about a few roads that are doing. But how are they funding those roads? Borrowed funds again. I'm sure you don't know. The roads I built are roads, when those contracts I awarded was a guy from IG, and the little money we were saving. When we get money from federal allocation, Air Force, after paying salaries, wages, Air Force, the 400 billion a month. I will make sure that government is wrong. You can't come and make them all. My personal vehicles run for 4 months. My personal vehicles run government. It was my PA. It was my principal secretary. My secretary. My personal vehicles run for 4 months. Am I right? That's 4 months. My vehicles. If I just one of them, or just to the game village here, hold on. And we have an area where no government. I had to pack it for some time. My personal for 4 months. It be no long. No long no it can't be because government house in a post it, and I said we're going to begin. And I told you that the first thing gave me a general every government will be back. I knew that we needed money to inject into different. So when I meant well for Imo State. And I know for avoidance of doubt, if you go through your head, I listed the roads that were awarded. I won't ask you, I'm doing it. I put the road and I give you the length. In the Kenya, Japan had the roads that awarded. What is the cost of those roads? How much per kilometer? Under my administration, there was a cost per kilometer of road. I had, because I was saying, contractor don't go and discuss with the ministry. No, I had consultants who would sit down with you, and there was a yardstick. In fact, in the Arab contractors, they are the most important road I awarded, which is the road from Nazi Junction across Naked Polytechnic and leading to Federal University of Technology. It was very dear to me because of a road that transcends 2 federal institutions in our state, about 14.7 kilometers. And it was going to lead into where we consider the new way. So, if you go through this, I tried to document a few of the things we did. But what I did was to liberate our state and touch various areas of human endeavor. If you talk of tourism, all activities I will know Buddha. Anything to them, I'll go to Buddha. So I can attract people to go to Buddha. They see that now I am where people can really relax. When I came, I talked about drainage. Drainage, you know what I mean? I set up a committee headed by Professor Wuzie to identify the problems of our drains and how to solve those problems. Abale manhole in the American official. And I got a state in under my watch. And I took a time now. Got them. I go for I got that. Man, they got that. It's very bad. What we call the case of the silk. When I came in, it was smelling, stenching. But you know what we did? We elevated it. We elevated it. The boy in charge of I go mention, you know what? Edmachi, you want to yak on one day. Ogabi could take it is not dear to him. This other I won't and one bring one. So this time I call your husband, I'm also awake. You are now. See, I don't call your wife. I don't mean I don't sleep. I don't call your husband when I'm sleeping. So by 7 o'clock I'm awake because I must go to work by 8. So Marcia, came Kanjo because he doesn't see me every morning. But because they know by 8 o'clock people are done. 8 o'clock people are doing. Monday commission, no like that. Oh, that maybe gone. 8. So if I'm awake till 2, 3, which I'm used to being awake till 2, but active awake. So unless madam take it easy, I won't take it on. Say I also deserve sleep. And say, Oji, now when I move then it was all here. Oh Allah. Say my Oji to keep awake. Now not like him. They get our kilo. I say, madam, take it easy. give me a match or they're going to since you're not I said, okay, I don't want to turn them at you.
Yes.
But I mean, that was how I drove my staff. I drove them. My cousin here is Chukuma, is a safety person. What I did with him, I called him and set up a safety office. Now, he got my house. Somewhere. Let's maintain safety. Do you know when I came in, there were no firefighters in Imo State. Are you aware of that? And when firefighting equipment in Imo State, when I came. And when? I refurbished and then acquired 2 new ones. So we had 4 firefighting equipment. And I made sure this was done under 2 months. In fact, that week, but no, 2 weeks. Martin, I'm sure not 2 weeks. I came in once, you know. Anything can happen. Because remember when I was governor-elect, I went fire Banana Airport. I went to when firefighting. There's somewhere in Abia State that they now. I said, oh, my Ghana Airport. My Ghana Airport. So I said, in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. So what I was doing, I would just get 100 million naira for that. I was doing my education for myself. John, I can't get the money I'm from Venus. I am getting back. All my staff were very angry with me because when he paid that for me. How did you know federal commissioner's quarters? How did you do it? Direct level. All commissioner's quarters, direct level. Direct level. I got the Minister of Housing. I found a man that's supposed to be my home, and I posted the Minister of Housing, Otroke, and in fact, again, he was acting like more like the deputy principal secretary, because every day he's with me. And what I wanted to do was to put a stop to it, so that people can know that it's not a way of life. You don't come with public trust and abuse it. No, we're in to Imo State. Say, come and we are going to be your land. Lord, come and take care. A lot of you come and leave. On her job. So when I was campaigning, they were saying, we must recover our land. I promised them I would do that. So I had to set up commissions of inquiry to know what happened. I remember ministry, I know people, and then to warn and put a stop to it. But I found people who are not politicians. People mad that I got a retired judge, Justice Igwe, one in Abia State. I got her to the chairman of the I said, I told him, but now I can cash. No one interest. Not what they say, madam. The Higgin, draw, Flores. They were doing a wonderful job. That report was submitted after I left office. I came to sanitize him, and I'm on that. When I got there, I knew that a state is as good as OHI, and I know we can do it. If I had stayed in office till now, I can bet you one. IGR of Imo State would have grown to about 5 billion a month. Yes, I would have done it. And without this, I don't need to borrow any money. I didn't borrow when we didn't have any IGR, or when I grew IGR. I worked out how we're going to fund all the roads. We paid every contractor 15%, no borrowed couple. It's not possible. It only is, people saw it possible. Oh my God, but how are you doing it? Discipline. I was able to do it. Today, given my records, Imo State is owing 205 billion naira. By the time I came in, it was 130 something, I don't know, 130 something or 1%, I don't know what it was. We were owing about 130. I have the record here. When I came in, Imo State was owing 148 billion. Now that didn't happen. So I had to remember the details, and I got to talk to my banks, different banks. They didn't bank, tell me the level of exposure. Remember that 138 that they gave 148 was under-declared. The actual figure in the was 164 billion naira.
I think we had about $200 million outside Europe.
When I thought it was 164, it was 164 million. That report I requested for came in December. So at the day I left office, we're actually owing 164 billion. I did not borrow 1 cup. Now, the president's person, the records, official records of the federal government and Imo State is 205 billion naira. That's the official records. But I know it is more than that. I may remove. What is going on with our funds that are going to us is so pathetic. I promise in the oil producing areas that your money will managed by yourselves. I didn't touch a cover of their funds. It goes in the management. That level of transparency I exhibited. It is almost impossible to find people who do such. But I am happy that we made it a possible state. And while I was governor, you know, Imo was ranking, was just being mentioned for the positive things. Is it true or false? Security, we dealt with all those issues. What a wonderful human relations. In fact, the day we were moved from office, Bishop Obin, my deputy governor, and my civil advisor, they were meeting with Omako Hajegoma, the militants who were surrounding their camps. Yes. Who said this is not possible? We've changed the face of our state. Imo would have been a bagger not. That is why I know Emeka is coming. When you are late, yes, Emeka be maker. They don't like to hear this message, but this message must be out there. They don't want me to talk about our accomplishments. Give me the answer me there. Hey, in a winning election, or give a fourth game winning election. What you say that you were awarded something that does not belong to you. And seek the face of God. I will give again a claim with the man who won. Elected there. How? What about the winning election? Only one person wins. So I won the election, obviously. I won the election clear. That's why I can work today. So they should stop. Somebody there did a paper. How? How? They never win. They go, one Monday we never win. You now come to my local government because of that. And that amend the Electoral Act now. That anywhere. Anything like translation, making it, zero. So the idea of a parabano again we see. So the case of you know what I mean? Yeah. So you don't want to get no. So my dear brothers and sisters, I want to thank you so much. But I have shared this. If you go through, you will see. When I come here, everything here on spot. Actually, I'm now on email. Challenge everybody else. See. Come and show us on the paper. Okay. When they came in, they said, I did around 2 billion. When I have one. Where is it? Everything that you know, pass mark. So we can get the moon. Thank you. One that they used a lot. Because it's so cool. When they just like I don't have time for those things. There's a time for everything. At watch, at the time of harvesting the beginning, I will get there. I give you my God. But that one I take a deep interest in governance and what we are doing. So I want to thank you and say God bless all of you. As time permits, from our very busy schedules, politics back home, my politics is my vocation. I love it. I enjoy it. That is what I do. I'm like my general campaign down to get my food. I have 1-2 days to take fresh air. Whenever possible. I won't go from my set. Try no more. I'm sure that I can be able to. I want to thank all of you. May God bless you.